James Tian stripped of his CPPCC membership. Questions over donations to Hong Kong U handled by an Occupy Central figure. And a fiery end to a privately operated supply mission to the International Space Station.
Good evening. The nation's top advisory body made the decision this afternoon to strip Liberal Party lawmaker James Tian of his membership on the National Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference. This comes 5 days after he called on Chief Executive Len Cheng-ying to consider resigning. Tian says he accepts the decision and he has stepped down as leader of the Liberal Party. Diane To reports.
CPPCC Standing Committee member Chan Wing-kee insists today's decision doesn't mean criticisms against the government aren't allowed, but that they have to be constructive.
The member has the freedom of speech as long as they do not oppose the government. They can say anything, any advice to the Hong Kong government and the Chinese government, and without any hesitation.
Chan explained to Hong Kong media that James Tian had violated Article 29 of the CPPCC Charter. That is, to go against resolutions passed by the advisory body. Chan quoted Standing Committee Chairman Yu Zhengsheng as saying that this is the first time in his memory that Article 29 has been used to strip someone of his membership. The move marks the severity of the consequence of remarks made by Tian last Friday when he openly called on Chief Executive Len Cheng-ying to consider resigning. And that goes against a resolution passed by the CPPCC in March, which pledged support for Leung. Tian, along with members of his party, met with officials from the central government's liaison office in Hong Kong this afternoon after the announcement was made.
The fact that I called, or rather urged, Chief Executive CY Leung to resign because Hong Kong is getting a bit ungovernable, certainly not according to Article 29, is incorrect. Therefore, I accept their decision.
Tian, who also decided to step down as Liberal Party leader, had a meeting with his party members afterwards.
I do not see any sign that there will be any marginalization of the Liberal Party because of this development. It was made very clear to us by Mr. Jiang Xiaoming, that this is something between the CPPCC and a member of the CPPCC.
Diane To, TVB News.
A group of people went to the University of Hong Kong today to protest against Occupy Central organizer Benny Tai's participation in unlawful protests. This came as Tai resumed his teaching duties at the university. The group handed over a petition letter to the university complaining that Tai, as an associate professor of law, had broken the law intentionally. Finally, back at school after a month of joining the Occupy protests, Tai reiterated returning was not a move to back out of the ongoing civil disobedience movement. Meanwhile, emails sent to the media have raised questions over anonymous donations to the university handled by Tai, totaling $1.45 million. As Owen Fung reports, Tai insisted he handled them according to procedure and said he's not worried the pro-democracy movement will be affected by the leaked donation records.
With emails alleging that Benny Tai had handled anonymous donations to the University of Hong Kong totaling $1.45 million, will the incident be interpreted as external forces influencing the ongoing movement? Responding to media questions on his way to class today, Benny Tai said he's not worried. He added that the university has not requested him to take any further actions regarding the donations, as he's already gone through the relevant procedures. The email was leaked to a number of media outlets. The sender, who went by the name Stephen Yip, called himself a scholar who loves the university. According to the emails, Tai handled 3 anonymous donations in May 2013. An $800,000 donation was made to the University of Hong Kong's Public Opinion Program, $300,000 to the Faculty of Law, and $200,000 to the School of Humanities. Tai initially said he received the donations indirectly and did not know the identity of the donor. But at the request of the university, Tai eventually revealed Reverend Chu Yu-ming, another organizer of the Occupy Central movement, as the source of the donations. In February 2014, Tai passed a further $150,000 of anonymous donations to the School of Humanities. He later told the university that the donation also came from Chu. Last night, Tai explained that a member of the public had given the money to Chu in support of the pro-democracy cause. Tai said he did not reveal the name of the donor initially, as he was not sure about the university's procedures for anonymous donations. Owen Fung, TVB News.
It is day 32 of the Occupy protests. Demonstrators are still occupying some of the roads in Admiralty, Causeway Bay and Mong Kok. Earlier today, legal representatives placed more copies of an interim injunction in Mong Kok to remind the occupiers the court order is still in force. At around 2 p.m., lawyers acting on behalf of the minibus management company that filed the injunction arrived at the protest area. They placed copies of the court injunction order near the junction of Nathan Road and Argyle Street. While a High Court judge reserved his judgment during Monday's hearing on whether to uphold the injunctions, he made it clear the interim injunctions will be in place for the Mong Kok occupation areas and outside Civic Tower in Admiralty.
An unmanned rocket exploded just seconds after liftoff from a commercial launch pad on the eastern seaboard of the United States. As Alan Booknia reports, it is the first accident since NASA turned to private operators to deliver cargo to the International Space Station.
4, 3, 2, 1.
The 14-story tall rocket, built and operated by Orbital Sciences, blasted off from its launch pad at the Wallops Flight Facility Tuesday evening. It was carrying a cargo ship bound for the International Space Station. But seconds into the launch, it exploded and plunged to the ground in a huge ball of flames and smoke. Authorities say no one was hurt. It's not known what went wrong.
It's a tough time to lose a launch vehicle like this and its payload. It's not as tragic as losing a life associated with it, and so we're very happy to report that there were no injuries and the safeguards both in flight and on the ground worked as they should have, and all we lost was hardware.
The rocket and cargo ship were valued at $200 million US. With a Russian cargo ship due to reach the space station today and no critical supplies on board the exploded cargo ship, NASA says the crew on the space station is in no danger.
The station's in great shape, the crew's in good shape, so while this event is very unfortunate, we will support the orbital team as they work through their anomaly and continue to operate station well into the next several months while we wait for orbital to return to flight.
The accident is sure to draw criticism over NASA's growing reliance on private companies in the post-shuttle era. NASA is paying them billions of dollars to make space station deliveries. It also raises fresh questions about the use of Russian engines in U.S. rockets. In May, a similar Russian AJ-26 engine exploded during a ground test. No cause for that has been released. Alan Booknia, TVB News.
China's lunar orbiter is on its way back to Earth after performing a lunar swing-by. Authorities say the unmanned spacecraft is in good condition and is expected to return to Earth November 1st. It was launched last Friday to test technology that will be used in the Chang'e 5 mission. That probe will conduct China's first moon mission in which the probe returns to Earth. It's expected to be launched in 2017 and will mark the last phase of Beijing's three-step moon probe project. North Korea's state TV has broadcast new pictures of leader Kim Jong-un. Earlier, Pyongyang denied Kim was in ill health after he disappeared from public view for 6 weeks. The latest photos show Kim walking with a cane on a visit to a recently completed restaurant for soldiers. Accompanying him were his wife and high-ranking officials. He looked around the dining rooms and talked to the officials. State-run television KRT did not specify the location and the date of the visit. KRT also released several pictures of Kim watching a soccer match yesterday between the women's national team and Wolmido team at the remodeled Mayday Stadium in Pyongyang. The national team had recently returned home from the Incheon Asian Games in South Korea with a gold medal.
And still to come in our newscast, a teenager arrested after he allegedly tried to set off explosives at a police station. A proposal to shorten the local internship period for overseas doctors. And the Czech Republic honors a British man for his own Schindler's List.
Beautiful colours, beautiful movement, and just not a camera lens wide enough to take it all in.
Explanations for the Northern and Southern Lights from both science and myth.
We were really grateful for the Northern Lights when they guided us home.
Tonight, Aurora, Fire in the Sky at 9:30 on Pearl.
Get ready for a new page in motorsport history. Welcome to Asia's most legendary race. This November, experience the Sun City Group 61st Macau Grand Prix.
Dis-moi que tu m'aimes, que la vie est belle, que ce monde est fou. Dis-moi que tu m'aimes, que nos vies s'en mêlent, que je suis ton tout.
Love Story, the new fragrance by Chloe.
每次煮食都要新廚具。法國特福易潔廚具特有抗變形底部同防黏底塗層，每日每餐幫你保持烹飪水準。法國特福少不了的好主意。
大城市車多塵多，每3個人有幾多個鼻敏感
？2個。
調查發現，每3個受訪者就有2個曾經出現鼻敏感症狀。幸福為你行多步，食幸福安泰敏，舒緩鼻敏感症狀。食咗幸福安泰敏，有幾多個瞌眼瞓？
好。
幸福為你行多步。
The time now is 7:43. The time check was brought to you by Seiko.
Welcome back. A teenage boy allegedly tried to set off homemade explosives at a police station last night, but officers stopped him in time. Police arrested him and later found more explosive materials at his home in Pak Phulam. Stephanie Choi reports.
Authorities accompanied the 15-year-old to his Wafu estate flat where they searched for explosive materials. Bomb disposal personnel then detonated the explosives in the hallway outside the teenager's home. Residents were evacuated from nearby floors during the detonation. The police say the school dropout is unemployed and has a history of mental illness. He claimed that he had learned about explosives from books and that the explosive materials he bought were readily available. Earlier last night, at around 7 o'clock, the boy walked into the Aberdeen police station report room with a lighter and 5 tubes, each containing about 200 grams of white powder. He allegedly told police officers he was going to set off the explosives but was stopped in time. Tests revealed that the powder was an explosive known as TATP. Officers detonated the explosives at the